Cancer, how are you? Let's do a reading for your current energy, shall we? As always, please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. Now, I sure appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. And if you appreciate what I do here, help me out. Hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really makes a difference to my channel, and I would love to see my channel continue to grow. So help me make that happen. All right, let's see what's coming through for all of my Cancers for the next 7 to 10 days. Grateful, thankful for the messages, always. All right, first card out for you is the Strength card to the Wheel of Fortune. Listen, if you haven't been feeling very well lately, I don't think it's going to last, all right? Here we have the Strength card to the Wheel of Fortune. Maybe this is going to bring up something that you need to address. Like if you're not feeling good and you have been putting off going to the doctor, I would highly recommend that you go see someone. Peace of mind, just get everything all checked out. Make sure you're okay. I am feeling like some of you Cancers could be a little run down this week. All right, we have the Empress card in the recent past. We have the Strength card also coming in reversed. And these two cards can indicate that you just don't feel good. You may not feel good about your body. You may not feel good about yourself in general. You may, have some emotional issues that are kind of holding you back. I just feel like give yourself a little bit of grace, right? Sometimes we have weeks where we feel off, and this could be one of those weeks. But I do feel like if there is something going on with you, Cancer, and, you've been putting off going to the doctor, go to the doctor, because here we do have the Devil card coming in here reversed. I think, you will just feel better knowing what is really going on. Sometimes, you just are off a little bit, and you need to take some vitamins, or, maybe you need to get a little bit more rest. You're not sleeping well. One of those kind of things, so please get it checked out. All right, let's move on from that. We do have the Wheel of Fortune coming in for you, though, this week, and I like that because I think, things are going to start to turn in a more positive light, all right? So if you have been down and out and you haven't been feeling really good, things just seem to have been a little difficult, I feel as if, that's going to start to turn. I do see a lot of family energy here with the Ten of Cups in the near future, so, maybe there's some issues around family that, you're struggling with, because here we do have the Hermit card. Maybe you've been away from your family for a while, or maybe there's things going on within the family unit that, are just kind of challenging. But I do feel like it's positive. Things are going to start to turn into a more positive light. We do have the Nine of Swords here reversed. So I think, again, things that you have been worried about, stressed about. I just feel as if, it's time for you to kind of let go of the heaviness that you've been carrying lately. Because here we also have the Nine of Wands coming in reversed. I think you have been worried. I think you have been really stressed. I think you've been in your own world, dealing with a lot of these issues as well. Because when we have the Hermit card showing up, you're just trying to do the best you can to get through the week, right? But I do feel as if that's all going to start to come to an end, and you're going to start to feel a little bit better, all right? Like I said, I feel like these energies of you not having felt like you were 100% in whatever regard in your body, mind, spirit, I do feel like things are going to start to turn, because there is this real healing energy around you this week. For some of you, maybe you need to go and visit your family, especially, with this card here in the near future. It's just like, maybe you feel as if some of your family has turned their backs on you and, you're not included. And I just don't feel like that's really the truth. I just feel as if, this is something internal that's going on with you. You are a Cancer. You do have the moods of the moon cycle, so you can be a little moody, and I just feel as if, you just need to come out of a place that, you've kind of put yourself in, because with the Hermit, you're isolating yourself on some level. And I do feel like, it'd be good for you to get out and about and, visit family, visit those people that make you feel good, and start to find these ways where you can take care of this little light that he's trying to protect over here. So I do feel like this is one of these energies this week, Cancer, where you're going to be challenged by yourself. You're going to be challenged to kind of push yourself a little bit more, to find some respite, to find some relief, to find love, to feel like you belong, all right? Because I do feel as if, there's people around you, but, you've got to open up to that as well. Now, we do have the Three of Pentacles here coming up, and again, this is an energy of, being with other people, collaborating with other people. I think you have a lot to share. Here, we see this older person with these two younger people. And again, I feel like, if, you've been feeling like you need a purpose, or you need to do something to make you feel better, I think you have a lot to share. And if you can be around younger people this week, I think that would also be really beneficial to you, because I think you start to realize that, you can really engage in the company of other people and have a really good time, but there is this need for you to get out of this space of being isolated. And I am feeling a little bit of isolation with you. Now, the final outcome for you this week is the World card. All right. So, it's time to end and break out of this cycle or this rut that you have been feeling. All right. And I'm feeling like you're really ready to do that, especially with 2 9s on the table. When we have the 9 of Wands, this is you being very guarded. All right. Lay your guard down, enjoy yourself. And here with this 9 of Swords energy, I mean, there's a lot of mental energy as well that is also in your head, so it's time to get out of your head into a place of the light, and start, enjoying yourself a little bit. And like I said, if you can find yourself around younger people, I mean, they have such a dynamic perspective, that, they might kind of get your wheels spinning, and maybe you can start thinking, from a new point of view, because, you know how younger people are, it's just sometimes very surprising what comes out of the mouth of babes. And I think, this is one of those energies that would be very, very good for you. All right, so that's what I've got for you, Cancer, for this week. Let's get out there. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's find some young energy to, help, get us uplifted. And if you do need to go see a doctor because you've been feeling a little run down, go. All right. So with that being said, have a really great week. Be happy, be healthy, be kind. I'll see you later. Bye now.